Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, yeah, you like that?
Rated M for mature.
You want some more? I'll give you some more, baby. Oh, yeah.
I saw this commercial when I was 6 years old. Is Conker's Bad Fur Day worth it in the year 2024? Or whatever year it is. I'm going to be updating this thumbnail every year. We're going to be taking a look to see if the game is still worth a play, and if it was still as good as it was back then. I will be drinking nothing but alcohol throughout this entire review process. Here's what we will mostly be drinking. First, get your glass of already pre-drinking alcohol, 2 cubes of ice, fill your cup 3/4 of the way with vodka, I'm using 40%, then fill the remainder with Kahlua. After that, put some whipped cream on it, mix some milk in it, or do both, and then after that, we're done and ready to play.
Marvelous.
He got wasted, drunk, and lost, and he can't get home. That's the story. That's literally it. I don't know what you want from me. Please don't hurt me. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let me jump back into the story, because I feel like I will be executed if I don't. But I simply just cannot tell you what this story is about, other than the main thing that it is about, which is him getting drunk and getting lost and wanting to find his way home. Because there are hundreds of different side stories and that just happen during the game. It's impossible to explain every single one and go over detail on them in this video. So I'm not doing that. That would be insane. You don't want this video to be 7 hours. I would lose my mind. I will be telling you what stories happen and how they're done later on in the video in a different section, but that's for later. So right now it doesn't really matter. I don't know what else to say. This rabbit turns me on. Gameplay controls well. You move around, you push A to jump, and you jump. You push A in the air, and you turn into a ripoff. Pushing B gets you the frying pan, the strongest weapon to ever be conceived. You get a gun later, but it controls terribly. Aiming in first person has always been terrible on an N64 controller, so this is just abysmal, especially considering there's a billion enemies surrounding you at all times. And they jump out of nowhere, so it barely gives you enough time to react, and you mostly have to get headshots on all the enemies or else they won't die, or they'll take longer to die. The zombies are also terrible because you can only headshot them or they will never die. Luckily, you can just walk past them and do the entire thing ignoring them, except for the first part where you have to kill like 10 of them. Looks like I'm going to have to put this into my own hands. However, I just said this is all terrible, but I actually like the shooting parts. Why? I don't know. I'm going to the insane asylum next week. It just comes down to a base of it's still fun to shoot at things, even if it's kind of annoying at times with them popping out of nowhere and being forced to get headshots. It's still fun to shoot things. It feels good to shoot them. I like killing things. How did I get these guns, you ask? I pushed B, stupid. Around the start of the game, you get introduced to something called context sensitive, which is basically Looney Tunes. You walk up to a platform, you push the B button, and then something happens depending on the situation you're in, and it almost always helps you. My issue is that sometimes they don't even have a platform and you have to find where to push the damn B button. That only happens like once or twice, so who cares? Unfortunately, this game has 2 pretty big faults, so the game is terrible. Most of the game you go around collecting money, which is fine. It's collectathon, you get money. If you miss 1 or even 2, maybe 3, you have to go all the way back through each world to find that one you missed. Out of all the money in the game, I think you can technically miss 2 and still have enough money to progress, but if you miss 2 wads of money, you have to go back and find more. Like, really? Luckily, most of the money is pretty easy to find and you can hear it a mile away, but I missed maybe 1 or 2 that were slightly off the path that I just happened to not walk by, which in turn made me have to scavenge the world again for that 1 wad, which wasn't too bad. It didn't take me that long. I just had to go up to a place where I was like, oh, maybe I didn't go all the way up here and do this because it was fucking annoying. The second one is more of a me thing rather than a major complaint, but I feel like the fall damage limit, like from the point of where you jump off and then hitting the ground, is way too low. Like, I feel like I jump off a platform and I just die and explode immediately. That shouldn't be happening in a platformer. I don't even know why it happens in this. It feels even more better in Banjo-Tooie and Banjo-Kazooie. I at first thought that they did this so you didn't break the game or something, but I can't really think of a point in the game where not having it would cause it to break, so I don't know why this is a thing. And again, other than the gun controls, there's really no other complaints I have about the game. The game also looks and sounds phenomenal, so like I can't really complain about any of that.
Remember how I said the story is just you getting a hangover and stumbling around? Well, that's what it feels like playing this game, which is a good thing. You feel like you're constantly just walking around with no goal in mind. You're just figuring out where to go. It feels like you're just stumbling around and just doing things as they happen, which is awesome. I think that's funny. Speaking of funny,
Oh, what a world, what a world.
the entire gimmick of this game is that it's mostly a comedy game, a parody. It has a lot of movie references.
But you have to understand, this game came out in 2001, so surely it's still not.
Either bring me back me missing cogs. Oh, up.
You don't have to shout.
I'm deaf. Speak up. Oh, up.
Hang on a second.
Well, hello there. And aren't you the handsome one?
Yeah, it's still kind of funny. Humor, however, is subjective, and everyone's gonna find something different that they find funny and something they don't find funny. For me, personally, I don't like flatulous humor, and this game is, disturbingly full of it. But I also love nonsensical humor, which happens a lot in this as well. And even if I hate flatulous humor, when you have this big pile of manure singing opera songs at you, that sounds pretty good, and also turn it into a boss battle that's somewhat challenging and fun to do, you're making me laugh. This is kind of funny. But even if I hate some of the humor in it, some of the stuff I don't like, I end up liking just because it turns into nonsense. So there's a lot for everyone here for what kind of humor you like. It gives me what they call the ha-has. It cures my depression. Everything together is, of course, held up by whatever it says on the screen, and I guess. It's voice acted by like 3 people. Even though there's only 3 people voice acting, I think they did a pretty good job. I mean, the game is a shitpost, so it's good enough. Jokes aside, the voices do really bring the world together. The sound design and music is extremely memorable. I like it a lot. It's very good. When you're out on the field, it sounds like you're going to be doing a big adventure. When you're in a mansion, it sounds like you're in a scary-ass mansion. Basically, the sound pieces fit perfectly. It feels in total they put a lot of effort into this package. Not worth these prices though, you animals. I hate every single one of you. But to finally answer the clickbait thumbnail that you probably forgot what is it about, I think even if you don't like the humor and love platformers, there's still something here for you, and you might laugh once or twice, even if you're not a big fan of the humor that the game provides, because there's a lot of different variants in the humor. To put it simply, yes, if you like platformers, go ahead and play this. I'm shocked you already haven't already, to be honest. Is it replayable? For me, no, I don't think I'd replay this ever. I might maybe in like 20 years. I just don't personally feel that it's that replayable, since you have to get all the collectibles, or at least most of them, to progress the game anyway, so maybe later down the line when I'm 80. However, all good things must come to an end. This kind of game just doesn't get made anymore. The last game that is like this, that's a completely different genre, is the one on screen here that I forgot the name of, and I'm too lazy to add it to the script. That's not even the same type of game, or made by the same type of studio. For Conker himself, I don't think we're ever going to see him again. Oh wait, we did twice. What the hell? It's owned by Microsoft now, who wouldn't dare make another platformer, or one with comedy such as this. We have this one game to remember till the end of time. Never do this again. Seriously, what the hell was this?